Hi everyone, thanks for joining me. My name is Forrest Huguenin, and I'd like to welcome you to my web series for 2018. 2018 is going to be about achieving your goals. That's going to involve getting yourself organized, getting yourself motivated, getting yourself focused, and maximizing your activity so that you get to where you want to be. Maybe there were some things you didn't accomplish in 2017. We're going to take a look back at 2017 in this particular video with a view to finding out what things we can do better in 2018 to make sure we get to where we want to be. So let's think about that. How was your 2017? Was it everything you thought it was going to be? Did you reach that financial goal? Did you take that vacation? Did you buy that car? These are things that we'll consider, and we're going to break them down and see how we can systematically look at our activity in the past and how we can apply that information toward our activity in the future in 2018. So the first thing I'd like to ask you is get yourself a piece of paper, get yourself a pen, break it out because we're going to jot down some notes. We're going to write down some things that are going to assist you in laying out an action plan for 2018 to ensure that you get where you want to be. Now, this is by no means meant to be a comprehensive session. I'm just going to hit some bullet points, some overview spots to show you, give you an idea of how you can set achievable goals, how you can set goals that you will realistically attain within the 2018 time span. And one of the things we're going to do with that, one of the tools we're going to use is something called SMART goals. SMART goals, we'll get into that, but when you use the SMART system, you exponentially increase your odds of actually reaching the goal that you want to reach. Because some of the reasons people don't actually reach their goals is they're too unfocused. They don't motivate that person enough. They haven't considered all the things that they need to actually put into place to reach that goal. So the SMART system helps smooth over those rough spots and let you get to where you want to be. But the first thing that I want to do actually is look back at 2017. So the first thing I want to ask you is, was 2017 everything you thought it would be? Only you can answer that question. So the next thing I want you to do right now is you're going to take out your sheet of paper and I want you to write on the left side, good, and on the right side I want you to write bad. First thing I want you to think about for 2017 is think of 3 to 5 good things that happened to you in 2017. Did you get a new job? Did you reach a savings milestone? Did you reach an income milestone? Did you take a nice vacation? Did you start a new relationship? Did you end an old relationship? Maybe that's a good thing for you. Whatever you think is a good thing, take a moment right now and list those things down. And as you're listing those things, I want you to think about something. How did each one of those things make your life better? Did it set you up for more success? Did it improve your outlook on life? You know, things like that. So jot those things down, and we're not going to actually wait for everybody to write down everything because I want to keep this moving. I just want to show you in this video what steps you need to take for successful goal setting for 2018. Now, on the right-hand side of the paper, I want you to write bad. These are the negative things that may have happened to you in 2017. Maybe a negative thing was a relationship ended. Maybe you lost a job. Maybe you had an unexpected health setback. Maybe something didn't quite work out the way you thought it was going to be. List those things, 3 to 5 things. We don't have to get crazy. Just write 3 to 5 things. And as you write those things, underneath each one, and again, you don't have to do this right now. This is an exercise that's going to continue later on after we end this video. I want you to consider, what lessons did you learn from those things? If it was a relationship that went bad, what did you learn about yourself? What did you learn about your decision-making process? Were there things you could have done better? Were there choices you could have made differently? If it was a job that you may have lost or a job that you didn't get, what did you learn from that experience that will help you do better next time? See, I like to think of bad things slash negative things slash setbacks as learning opportunities. I always take some comfort in what Nelson Mandela said, and he said, "I never lose. I either win or learn." And that's a great positive attitude, because if you put yourself outside of that losing mindset, then you're going to be much more apt to achieve your goals, because you're going to be focused, you're going to stay positive, you're going to stay motivated. So remember, setbacks, bad things, are not necessarily losses. They're opportunities to learn so that you can do better next time. Now, the next thing I want you to do, the next step, this is number 3, we're going to prioritize our core values. Now, what are your core values? Well, those things revolve around family, work, your spiritual goals. They also revolve around your play slash recreation, and they revolve around me. So remember, we got work, we got me, we have spiritual, we have play, and we have family. Write those 5 things down. Now, when you look at that list, I need you to take a look at it and say, if you could only focus on one thing in your life, what is the most important thing on that list? Is it family? Is it work? Is it play? Is it me? I can't make that decision for you. You have to make that decision for you. Once you write that thing down, put a number 1 next to it. Now we're going to look for the next most important thing. This thing's going to get a 2. So forget about the 1. You have 4 things left now. Out of those 4, if you could only focus on 1, what would be the most important thing for you to excel in, to focus on in your life? Is it worship? Is it family? Is it the job, work? So put that number 2 there, and then proceed down the list until you have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 listed. Once you see that list, that tells you something about yourself. Those things constitute what I like to call your core values. Everything in your life has to revolve around your core values, because once you set goals, once you embark on things that bump up against your core values, you're not going to succeed, because your inner mind is going to tell you, this is not right, I can't get behind it, I can't make it work. So goals should always revolve around your core values. And your core values should not bump up against each other. For instance, if family is at the top of your list on your core values, then work should never bump it out of the way. You won't kill yourself at work and neglect your family. It makes decision making easy. When the boss offers you overtime, if work or spirituality is ahead of those things, you're not going to forego time with your family. You're not going to forego time in spiritual goals for work. The decision making process becomes easy as long as you keep your mind focused on the priority of your core values in your life. Now, that brings us to our next step, our 4th step, and that is to list your goals for 2018. This is the fun part. This is where you do a little bit of dreaming, but In these goals, I want you to keep the SMART system in mind. And that's going to help you set goals that are realistic. So we're going to think about 5 to 10 things, but before we do that, I want you to keep the SMART system in mind. So write down SMART, S-M-A-R-T, vertically, S-M-A-R-T, and the S stands for specific. The goal has to be specific. In other words, I want to be rich. That's not specific. Everybody wants to be rich. What does wealth mean to you, though? Is it $100,000? Is it $1,000,000? Is it 3 million? Is it 5? Is it 10? You have to be specific in your goals. If goals are not specific, you just find yourself slugging away at something that's not a specific target and you never hit it. So you eventually get tired and you give up. But one thing that goes along with that specificity, did I say that right? Specificity? Yeah, I think so, is your why. Specific means, why is this important to you? Why is it going to make your life better? Why does it matter? Why are you going to get up every day and push yourself no matter what? Is it going to mean that your children are going to have a better future? That's a strong why. Is it going to mean that if I get up and I exercise, I'm going to extend the quality of my life? That's a powerful why. These are your whys. These are the things that need to motivate you. Is your why that you never want to be broke again? That's a powerful why. See, these are your whys. You need to write them down and understand them so that those are the things that fuel you and propel you onward when times get tough. Now, the M stands for measurable. So the goal has to be measurable. Let's take that I want to be rich thing. What does that mean to you? Is it 100,000? Is it 1,000,000? We talked about that before. You have to be able to write something down. Oh, I want to be rich. Well, that means I have $3 million in the bank earning an average of 8% interest. That makes me rich. I want to be at a healthy weight. What does that mean? Well, not just I just want to lose weight. I want to lose 20 pounds. That's something you can measure. I want to gain 10 pounds of muscle. That's something you can measure. I want to be able to run 5, 10 miles. That's something that you can measure. So make sure your goals are measurable. The next thing is the A. The A stands for attainable. Now, we want to push ourselves and we want to set what I call stretch goals because that's what pushes us and propels us on to make ourselves better. But we also want to make sure that they're attainable. For instance, if you've never before skated in your life, you are not going to have as a realistic goal for this year, I want to be an Olympic ice skater. That's just not going to work. It's not going to happen. If you've never played football in the pros before in your life and you're 40 years old, joining the NFL is probably not an attainable goal at this point. So make sure that the goal is attainable, meaning that there are tools and things and abilities that you either have now or you can gain that make this a realistic thing. Leaping 500 feet in the air, not attainable. Leaping 5 feet in the air, maybe that is attainable. Is that your vertical? I don't know. Maybe that's something you can reach. But make sure your goals are attainable because nothing's worse than setting a goal that's so unattainable that you become discouraged because you really have no realistic way of reaching it. Now, the R stands for relevant in SMART. So relevant, what does that mean? Each one of your goals is a successive piece of a puzzle that locks in and paints the picture of the life that you want to have. So, the goal of being wealthy, whatever that might be, maybe another goal might be to support that reading more. Maybe you want to set a goal of reading one book a month. Maybe you want to set a goal of reading one book every 2 weeks or every week. And at the end of 2018, you want to say, well, I've read 12 books, I've read 18 books, I've read 24 books, 52 books. Whatever that goal is, those are the things that are going to support the other goals. So make sure your goals are relevant. Make sure that means making sure they fit in with your core values and making sure that they support all the other goals on your list. Now, the T at the end of SMART stands for time bound. I always remember in sales, we were always told nothing gets done unless you have a reason and a deadline. We covered the reason in your why under specific. This is where we get to the deadline, time bound, the T. That means that you're going to set a specific date for certain things to be done. So, if you want to bump your income up to a six-figure level and it's not there yet, then you want to say it's your business. Say your business is only bringing in $50,000, $60,000 a year right now. You want to bump that up to 100. That's not unrealistic. So what are you going to do? What benchmarks are you going to set? Say in the first quarter, you want to make sure that you have a certain number of clients to support that income. Maybe in the second quarter, you want to be billing at a certain level monthly so that you're supporting that goal. Maybe in the third quarter, you want to be introducing some new products or services that will increase your billable possibilities so that you can reach that goal, so that by the end of the fourth quarter, that's where your top tier goal is, say 100,000, but you've set benchmarks along the way, and those benchmarks will help keep you on track to make sure that you're actually moving forward toward those goals. You don't want to just set a goal of, well, I want to make $100,000 and then come December 31st, 2018, bam, it's supposed to happen. It's just not going to happen that way. You'll never know you're falling behind, you're on track, or you're ahead unless you have specific points throughout the year, monthly, weekly, quarterly, that you're measuring to find out whether or not you're reaching those goals. Now, you've got the SMART system in mind, so take some time now to list out your 5 to 10 goals. What are those things? Are they about your health? Are they about your family? Are they about your finances? Are they about your spirituality? Remember, these goals have to relate to your core values. Otherwise, they're irrelevant. They're not going to make any sense. They're going to bump up against that inner voice inside of you, and you're not going to find success in going after them. Now, after you've listed those 10 goals, and you don't have to do that again right now in this video, once you list those 10 goals, I want you to think about what things you need to have to support that goal or those goals. And you look at them one at a time and you think to yourself, what things do I need to put into place? What systems may I need to put into a place? Is it a CRM, a customer relations management tool? Is it an accounting tool? Is it a budget? Everybody needs a budget. We'll go into that at other times, but this isn't the place to get too deep into that. Is it people? Is it people that you need to add to your circle that will be thinking in the same mindset as you, in the same direction that you want to go in? You know, if you run with the turkeys at night, you can't soar with the eagles at dawn. The people you surround yourself with are who you become. Are you broke? Look at the people around you. Are they broke too? Are you wealthy? You'll find if you're wealthy, probably the people around you are wealthy too. If you're broke and you want to be wealthy, you need to start surrounding yourself with wealthy people or people who are pushing themselves toward that ultimate goal. These are the things that you want to do. These are the things that you want to keep in mind as you put in place your systems, your people that are going to help you to get to where you want to be. There might also be knowledge that you're going to need. If it's about changing careers, you need to start researching the career you want to get into. Or maybe you even need to start thinking about, well, what is your personality? Maybe you need to take the DISC assessment to find out what type of personality you have and what kind of pursuits are going to best fit you. So keep all of those things in mind after you look at your list, because now you're going to have to start putting those tools, those systems, those people in place. And think about this too when it comes to people. Sometimes the people around you may be taking away from your ability to reach your goals. If you look back at 2017, at some of the negative things that happened to you, were there some people associated with that? Were there some crabs in a barrel that were telling you you can't get there? You know, misery loves company. So those crabs that may have latched onto your leg are only going to try and drag you down and keep you down on their level. So you might want to think about cleaning house when it comes to the people around you. Now, we've got all those things in place. I want to leave you now with 5 tips to remember going forward. The first one is get an accountability system / partner. So your accountability system might be a Facebook group or something that you plug yourself into that's going to constantly check you and make sure that you're doing the things that you should be doing every day. If what you're doing right now is not propelling you forward to where you want to be tomorrow, then you do not need to be doing it. That doesn't mean I'm saying, well, you got to bury yourself in the pursuit of your goals and work all the time. No, that's not what I'm saying. If there's something you should be doing today that you didn't get to, that's going to be needed to get you to where you need to be tomorrow, you need to put that at the top of your list. You need to shut the TV off. You need to put the food down. You need to focus on that thing and make sure it gets accomplished today. The next thing, live in a state of gratitude. It can always be worse. Remember the saying, the guy that said, I used to complain about having no shoes until I met a man that had no feet? It can always be worse. Be grateful for what you have. Be grateful for your family. Be grateful for having a roof over your head, clothing on your back, a relationship with your creator. All these things that are important to you, be grateful for those things and be grateful every day. The third thing I want you to always keep in mind is remember your why. Your why is the jet fuel that's going to keep you lit up, keep you on fire, and make sure that you always keep pushing forward. When people come against you, the naysayers, and they say, man, that's crazy. You're never going to reach $100,000 a year. You're never going to have $1 million in the bank. You're never going to start that business. Remember your why, because that's what's going to make you get up out of the bed when it's cold like it is today here in New York. It's like -5 out there with the wind chill. And that's the real temperature. The wind chill is the real temperature, right? So that's going to make you get out of bed, to exercise, to go to work, to rise up early, to read, and fill your head and feed your brain with the knowledge that you need to succeed. The next thing that I want you to keep in mind as a good tip is to document your journey. That means journaling. Always journal. Journaling is a powerful thing. When you do that at the end of a day, when you write down how your day went, it is a way of reflecting and seeing what you did. Because nothing succeeds like success. And if you can constantly document and see, I'm doing things, I'm moving forward, I'm getting better, that journal will be your buddy along the way that's going to make sure you get to where you need to be. The last thing I want you to keep in mind is remember to celebrate. When you think about your milestones in the time-bound aspect of SMART goal setting, when you reach one of those markers where when you reach one of those deadlines and you see that you've actually done what you should do or you exceeded it, celebrate. It doesn't have to be a big thing. Maybe you want to go out and have some ice cream. Maybe you and your wife go out to a movie or dinner. Maybe you just want to have some me time. It doesn't have to be extravagant, but make sure you set aside some time to celebrate because that's going to recharge your batteries and help keep you moving forward. So I hope that the information that I shared with you in this session is something that you can take away and have some value from. I know there are things that have helped me. There are things that have helped my clients in the past, and I'm pretty confident that if you take some of these nuggets away with you, they're going to help you also succeed and move forward in attaining your goals. So I wish you and your family the very best in 2018. Org for Life Solutions, my company, is dedicated to helping people be focused, be organized, and make sure that they achieve their goals when it comes to time management, when it comes to their space management, paper, finances, when it comes to reaching goals, all of those things that make up your life. We make sure that you reach those things. You can check out my blog at www.orgforlifesolutions.com. You can check out my YouTube channel, and you can also check out the article that will be linked to this video below, which will have details of basically what we discussed right now. But some people like it in video format. I'm told this is where everybody's moving, so I'm trying to get on the bandwagon and stay current. So again, I wish you all the very best success in 2018. Own it, be it, achieve it. Go out there and get yours. Bye now.